And they hide behind the fact that, well, they don't make enough money. No, that is not true. Do you know what poor in this country is? They have cell phones, they have only one TV, they only have one car. That's what poor is in this country. You know, in other countries, you know what poor is? Poor is rice in a pan.
Did you know that my first year teaching, I made $600 more than what I would have needed as a maximum to qualify me for food stamps? First year teacher, my salary was $30,600.
Right.
If I made $30,000 or less, I would have qualified for food stamps.
Yeah, but don't you see what the problem is? That's a good. That's a great illustration, because that guy that's at 29,000 has no impetus to make more, because he's going to lose that handout. That's what it does. It robs your soul. It robs your desire to do better. Why? I've got it coming in. If I do too good, why do you think we have all of these parentless children in the low socioeconomic areas? Because the government has stepped in and said, well, if you have 5 kids, we'll give you this much. So they have 5 kids. And now all of a sudden I got people that are totally unqualified and untrained to deal with those children, but they got them because they have to have them to get X amount of money. If there wasn't the more kids you have, the more money you get, it wouldn't happen. And what would happen is, if the government wasn't there offering this stuff to the people, you'd have to go to your family. You'd have to go to your aunts and your uncles and your friends, and the community would become strong. But we do not have a government that wants the community strong. We do not want to teach men how to fish. We want to hand them fish so they need us. And that's what I have a problem with the government. The government wants to be needed. And right now, they are a living, breathing cancer that survives for itself. And every couple of years, it comes to see you because it needs your votes. And when they find a way around that, they won't even talk to you then.
Can I go back to something else you said?
Yes, ma'am.
You said the government broke up a black family.
It really did. I started to say black family. Then I figured, no, let me not phrase it that way, because it's not that simple anymore. You used to be able to say that, but now we have so many different minority groups, and there's some places where Caucasians are minority groups. Okay, so let's be serious. But it manifested itself mostly in the black families in the inner cities, because and they know this. I'm not telling them anything they don't know. And listen, color means nothing to me. I work in a place where color, they are so diverse. They're not just and let me tell you something. They're not just diverse in color. They're diverse in handicaps. They're diverse in they are the absolute gold standard in diversity. They don't care what your sexual preference is. None of that stuff. Can you do the job? You work. That's it. I see guys in wheelchairs. Do the job, they get the job. So color is irrelevant to me. But that's where it really showed initially, because you had all of these black women whose men left, either because it was better economically for them, or because they didn't have to be responsible because the government was there. And it robs us of our souls. It robs us. And you know what that means? It means that not everybody gets everything right away. What it means is, it may not be you. It might be your kids that get it. Or it might be their kids. But you know, you worked, you earned it. You went out and you worked 17 hours a day, like those immigrants did. Look how they worked. Look how they lived. But they did it. And the government didn't come in and hand it to them. The government wouldn't even talk to them, wouldn't even acknowledge that they were alive. They worked hard, they lived in slums, and you know what? They worked themselves out of slums. They were triumphant. They got the satisfaction of seeing their grandchildren go to college because it was earned, not because there was a government program to hand them the money. And so that's why I say it's an unintended consequence. I don't believe it was malicious, but it was vicious.
Didn't some of the stuff start when we had some of our veterans coming back from the Korean and Vietnam War?
I don't know, but I know that there was a GI Bill. Fine, that was different.
No, but I think I think some of it had the start of that because they needed, they couldn't get jobs.
Right.
So they needed to do something.
Okay, but that was for soldiers. That was for
Sorry.
people that went out and worked.
Right, then it just expanded.
Okay, and then it just and then the problem is.
But I could be wrong. I teach math, not anything else.
Okay,
so.
but the point that I'm trying, but it's still at least that was tied into something, where and the reason that they did it was because they gave those years up, fighting and losing, and I don't want to go here, but just very tiny is a little footnote. It's the tomb of the unknown soldiers. Okay, and I respect the medics and all the other people that go out and help them and stuff like that. But it's the soldiers that carry a gun and go out and shoot and kill and die and lose arms and legs. And that doesn't mean that the medics don't and the doctors don't. But to call it the tomb of the unknowns does not give those soldiers the respect that they deserve. They guard us. They guard us. The people that guard them, then there should be a tomb of the unknown. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind them having a tomb for the doctors and the nurses and all the other people that did that stuff. But these guys, because listen, let me tell you something.
I was watching a TV show that the premise of the TV show was that there's these good guys and the bad guys, and the bad guys were this militia,
Right.
crazy people trying to claim their government back or whatever.
Right.
And one of the good guys.
They're always white. They're always white.
They happen to be.
They're always white.
One, no, they're.
When
I've
they
seen
do
that.
those shows.
Well, in this particular episode that I'm
They were
quoting
white,
from,
weren't
they
they?
were white.
Okay.
But I have in
That's my
other
case.
in other episodes I have
Oh.
seen them not white.
Okay,
So,
okay. But they weren't
I'm
malicious,
not saying-
probably. No.
So,
Yes, ma'am.
anyway, the
You're a
militia.
good girl. Good.
The militia guys were talking to one of the good guys who
Right.
was military background.
Right.
And they were saying that, oh, as a soldier, you should know that we're fighting for our rights and they were going on and on
Right,
and
right.
on. And the good
Soldier,
guy,
the good
soldier
guy.
said, here's the difference between me and you.
Right.
You're fighting for your rights.
Right.
I fought for somebody else's.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Isn't that?
Yes,
I
and that
just
sums
thought-
it up
and I
nicely,
just
doesn't it?
thought, wow.
See, and that's why it should be the tomb of the unknown soldier, not the tomb of the unknowns. Clinton brought that in. You know, I mean, some of these guys, everything they touch turns to, whatever. But and because we're trying to, why? Because we want to be politically correct. It's just like giving everybody everything. I actually heard Al Sharpton say that Martin Luther King didn't say he wanted equality. He said he wanted everything for everybody. That's not what he said. You know what he said? He said he wanted the same chance. He didn't say he wanted the same outcome. And that's where we dropped the ball. We got into this goody-goody, I want to feel good. They call it limousine liberal. I don't care what you call it. Liberal, conservative, I don't care about that. What I care about that is the fact of the matter is that by giving stuff away to people, you rob them of their ability to try, their ability to think. Who knows what we might have invented by now if we hadn't just pandered to, and then there's always and remember, vote for me. I gave you this. You know what I mean?
So, are the other
I hate
things
that.
in your idea book going to be blamed on the government too?
Oh no, they have nothing to do with that. They have nothing to. We only got.
I just had a because then it's going to be a long
Republican
season.
hat. Republican hat. Okay, see it? Oh, no, these other two. Oh, we may have to do a whole show on this one. This one is really scary. So sanity is the other two. There's three things down here besides parenting, big enough for me to see. Eye contact, which I go. Sanity, that is, we're losing sanity, in our country. A guy was in an ambulance. He drives an ambulance. This is what he does for a living. He helps people in need. He got a call. A diabetic was having a seizure. He hops in his ambulance to go help them, and his ex-wife calls up and complains that the kids have been left alone in the house. Okay? Now, they weren't in any danger. It was just a normal house. By the time the police showed up, there was somebody there. So he obviously called somebody and asked them to come over. Sanity. So I want to get into that at some point because we got a lot of dumb things that are happening and they hurt us.
They do.
They hurt us. Eye contact is its
I
own
just
shit.
can't imagine. Things like that in the news. If I was living in another country and read stuff like that, I think it would be like the greatest humor ever.
That's right. It's
People,
like
people in the other countries must read some of our news stories and just laugh hysterically at our stupidity.
And they must look at and look at this.
And we wonder why we can't gain any respect.
They care what Michael Moore thinks. Our media is fascinated with this blowhard. Okay?
I don't like him.
No, okay, but that's my point. And he's totally irrelevant. He's a fat slob, rude guy. Okay? Be a skinny slob. I don't care. It's not his weight. It's the fact that this guy, people care about. That's another thing. I don't want to get into it now. Opinions. People
sure,
report.
that on your list.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that down. I mean, we get this nonsense about people. They're reporting celebrity opinions to us. What do I care? What do
That's
I care?
why I don't watch the news a lot. I honestly don't watch the news.
And you're not missing much.
And occasionally, when I'm driving to work in the morning, I'll listen to NPR because
Okay.
that seems to be. I know you might disagree. It seems to be some of
okay.
the most unbiased reporting.
Right. Well, we were good till then.
Right, but generally speaking, compared to listening to ABC, the Fox
Right.
News, CNN, all those other,
Right.
it seems to be the most,
Right.
they're going to report on news stories and very little, there's very little opinion in it, it
Right.
seems.
Very good, very
the
good.
campaign aspect of it gets a little crazy, but when
Now-
you look at like just reporting the news,
Your homework assignment, should you choose to accept
I'm
it,
done with homework.
would be, oh man, that's the one thing, I just couldn't get around homework. I just was, school didn't appeal to me because of homework. That was the primary thing. The rest of school was okay.
I just finished my master's degree. I'm
Right.
done with homework for a while.
Okay, well, this is the point that I would make to you. The next time you listen to the
NPR.
unbiased
It
opinion
seems unbiased.
of NPR,
Yeah.
listen to the same story reported on ABC and Fox, or CNN and Fox, so that you have, and what you're going to start to see is that NPR, who's not biased, is reporting it the same way as all of these guys, and Fox is not. Okay, then you can decide.
I
Oh,
have
wait.
issues with Fox.
Okay, that's fine.
I had issues with Fox when I watched them one time, and they were saying that global warming doesn't exist because we have 6-foot snowdrifts in New York, and I was like,
Fact of the
What?
No, the reason they said global warming doesn't exist is because the scientists who pumped it up, all those emails all that stuff was exposed. It was a sham to begin. It was a sham.
It was exposed, but that was like 8 months after I saw them doing that.
Okay.
I was like,
Well,
it was just
okay.
irritating.
Okay.
They irritate me.
And that's okay, and I understand, and they do
But
irritate.
all news irritates me. That's really why I listen to NPR.
Okay. But all I'm sharing with you is that don't take my word, just like Glenn Beck, okay? Okay, you probably hate Glenn Beck, but you want to know,
For a grown man,
He
you really
cries a
tell that
lot.
he's a Republican, and I'm really not.
what does that have to do with anything?
I'm just saying.
Oh, man, we're out. I didn't get to go through anything.
We went through parenting.
Yeah, but I have this. Let me
Republican-
stop this anyway.
Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, right. Bye. I may have to cut a little.